Warning: the jokes you are about to see in this show were performed by a trained professional. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please do not attempt to tell these jokes at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage, David Newton.
One of the jobs of a comedian is to try to figure out what makes people laugh. That's my job tonight. Figure out what makes people laugh. Different people have different laughs, don't they? Got a couple of guys out here with some weird laughs. I heard some guy at the back there. Yes, where's he? Is that a laugh? It's kind of weird. Don't you love sitting next to someone who's got a weird laugh? Don't you love that? Sitting next to someone, has someone here got the snort? Don't you love that? In the middle of a laugh? That kind of sneaks up on you, doesn't it? That's why it's always good to take someone on a first date to a comedy show. Because while they're laughing, it's okay, can I have the bill, please? Okay, wait. I may not call you again. Laughing's awesome, man. I'm so glad to see we got some people of color in the audience tonight. Not just white people, some people of color, yes? Yeah. You know why? Because white people are notorious for not laughing well. You see white people are going, what's he talking about? We white people are not good laughers. We are not good laughers. We invented silent laughing. You'll see white people sitting in a comedy show going, Pam, did you hear that? That was very funny. I know, Harold, it was hilarious. But I didn't hear you laughing. And I was laughing on the inside. Because we're not very community-orientated white people. We're not. We don't share a lot. You'll see white people, they're like, no, I paid for this seat. I don't want to laugh out loud because this is my airspace. That's her airspace. That's your airspace. I don't want my laugh to go into your, it's not fair. I don't want your laugh in it's mine. That's your armrest, that's my armrest. Okay, just don't. We don't share. White people are not community orientated. We're not. Colored and black people are. You'll see white people. We'll go on a picnic to Kirstenbosch Gardens. There are 5 of us in the whole gardens. We'll sit a suburb away from each other. Colored and black people will sit on my blanket. Hello? Chicken licken? It's true. Do you know who the best laughers in South Africa are by far? Best laughers in the world by far. Colored people. Welcome, Cape Flats. Glad you're here. No, colored people are the best laughers. In fact, no, colored women are the best laughers. Elderly colored women are the best laughers. They are. Like Patricia DeLille, that's the best laughers. You know what? They don't laugh at shows. You'll watch this section tonight. They won't laugh. They'll be like, yeah, there's no baie snacks day. Oh my tande vas, ek gaan nou baie lag vanaand. Hy's baie snacks die ou. My curlers gaan uitval en my hare gaan kroes. Is Pieter is more cluttering as Pieter. You watch the white people, they're like, Harold, did you hear the natives? They're very loud. Different things make people laugh, don't they? Different things. You know what makes me laugh? Farting. I don't know why. I don't choose my sense of humor. I think it's hilarious. And ladies, just a little heads up for a second. If your man says to you, pull my finger. He's not saying to you, if you don't, I won't. What he's saying is, I'm gonna do it anyway. I just wanted to include you. So that when you pull it and he goes, and you go, come on man, you farted. He goes, no, we farted. I think there should be a fart in every movie. I really do. I think it was the one thing missing from Titanic was a fart. It's just the one thing. Just needed one fart in there just to break the ice. It was awesome, you know? Right at the end, you know, Titanic sinking. It's a beautiful moment. Jack and Rose hanging on the driftwood. Rose is like, don't leave me, Jack. I love you. Jack is like, I'll never leave you, Rose. I love you. Because farting in water makes the most awesome sound, doesn't it? Farting's hilarious. You know, farting is a rite of passage in a relationship. It is. It's a rite of passage in a relationship. Are you guys married? How long have you been married, sir? A long time. He didn't even know. She was like, oh, a long time. How long, ma'am? 21 years. That's awesome. Well done, guys. What's your name, ma'am? Eleanor. Can I ask you a personal question, Eleanor? Do you guys fart in front of each other? Yeah, she's happy. Yeah. Let me just tell you guys that are just starting dating at the moment, those of you in new relationships, let me tell you something. I don't care where you are in your relationship. I don't care what bases you've been through. I don't care where you are in your relationship. Maybe you think you know each other. We're soulmates. We complete each other's sentences. Maybe in the privacy of your own home, you'll go home, put on a SpongeBob outfit, swing from the chandeliers with some toys. Who knows? Until you have farted in front of each other, your relationship's gone nowhere. This is true. And it's never one of those planned things, is it? It's not like one day you say, honey, I feel like we need to take the relationship to the next level. It never happens like that. It happens one of two ways. Either you wake up early one Sunday morning and you forget you're not alone in bed anymore. And you do your normal morning stretch like, and now you're wondering to yourself, I wonder if she noticed. And she's half under the duvet going, I friggin' noticed, man. And under the duvet is the worst place to be. Because the entire night's farts are gathered under the duvet. You can kill yourself under there. The way that it mostly happens, which for you younger couples, this is the way it'll happen for you. This is the way it happened for me. It was like a fifth date. You know that fifth date where you invite her around to watch a DVD or something? A chick flick like Titanic. Come on round, watch a DVD. Now I've discovered women don't watch DVDs to watch the movie. They just want to lie and cuddle. So she's lying on the couch, I'm watching the DVD, and she's got her head on my stomach. She's got her ear against my stomach. All she can hear is which is the fart making its way through my intestine until it gets down to your sphincter, which is your bum muscle that stops farts just falling out. Now, normally a guy, when he feels it knocking on the sphincter, let me out. Normally what we do is you kind of lean onto one cheek and it out. But now I can't because her head's right here. I don't want to kill her. So now I'm clenching. I'm like, and my fart's like, let me out. Let me out. And you can feel it pushing, you know, like cramping. And eventually it breaks up and goes away. Doesn't go away, it goes and fetches friends and comes back bigger, later, when you're not concentrating. You ever try to hold a fart in for the entire night? As soon as you finish the date, you're like, it's fine, I'll call you, okay, goodbye, close the door, lock the door, turn around. It's like you deflate at the end of the night. This is always the time where she goes, excuse me, I left my cell phone inside. I was like, no, I'll post it to you. So now I'm sitting on the couch, right? Trying to hold this fart in. And she thinks now's a good time to start tickling the inside of my thigh. So I'm trying not to get turned on and poke her in the eye on a 5th date. Look like a pervert. So there I am battling a fart and an erection. And Leonardo DiCaprio's going, I'm king of the world! I'm going, shut up, man, I'm dealing with issues here. And then she pokes me in the stomach. Oh, come on, man! And that's what's going to happen with you. I've got to tell you one of my favorite stories. Anybody actually been to the Grahamstown Festival? Grahamstown Arts Festival? Yeah, for those of you who haven't been, you've got to go. One of the reasons why I love going to the Grahamstown Festival is because I like to drive up from Cape Town. And I always stop along the way to go bungee jumping. And I've got to tell you about the story of when I stopped at a place called Blowkrans. Anyone done that one? That's the world's highest official commercial bungee jump. Now, those of you who have been bungee jumping before will know that this story is true. This was the scariest day of my life. You see, the bungee instructors are trained to make you feel safe. So the guy talks you through the safety checks. Don't worry, sir, we've got the safety harness that we're putting on you. It's never broken. We've never had a fatality, never had an injury. You're in perfectly safe hands. I thought to myself, don't tell me that. Tell me someone died. I'm trying to feel scared. I mean, the whole point of bungee jumping is that it's suicide with the option to do it again. That's the point. So I said to the guy, listen, I'm not trying to feel safe here. I'm trying to feel dangerous. Is there not something you could do to make me feel a bit more scared? He says, I'll think of something. So now I'm wondering what he's going to think of. But he carries on with the safety checks. Don't worry, sir, we've got these 65 safeties that we're putting on you. This rope breaks at 1 billion tons. You're in perfectly safe hands. I'm thinking, this is going to be rubbish. I may as well have stayed at home, wrapped myself in bubble wrap, jumped off the edge of my toilet. This is rubbish. I stand on the edge, bored. 3, 2, 1. As I jump off, he goes, wait! I turned around in mid-air. He was standing there with another rope in his hand going, wait! I thought he forgot to connect the rope. I crapped myself the entire way down. The psychopath. It was brilliant. That's the way to bungee jump, man. Yeah. After that experience, I was feeling a bit adrenalized. I was feeling dangerous. I got in my car, I was driving to Grahamstown. I decided to do something you're not even supposed to do anymore. I picked up a hitchhiker. I was feeling dangerous. Because you never know what you're going to get, right? You never know if it's going to be a serial rapist or a serial killer. You never know. So I figured the only way to stay safe is if I become the psychopath. The guy climbed in the car. I didn't even greet him. Didn't even ask him where he was going. I just drove. Just to assert my psychopathness, I'll talk to my seatbelt. Daddy can't talk to you right now. Daddy's got someone in the car. Halfway through the trip, the first words the guy say to the guy are, listen, buddy, you just want to put your seatbelt on for a second? Just want to try something. Saw it in a movie once, but I'm pretty sure I can do it. He was like, he came with me all the way to Grahamstown. He was too scared to tell me that PE was his destination. So I got to the Grahamstown Festival, and this is where comedy magic happens. And you know how comedy works? Comedians just kind of look out in the audience and they pick on whatever they see. See a blonde or see a retard. You see whatever. You work with whatever you got. Some people from the Cape Flats, some Muslims, whatever. On this day, there was a disabled man in my audience. Every able-bodied person at that show saw him come in. He didn't have an arm on the one side. They saw him come in and they thought, just like you are now. Hope the comedian doesn't see him. Hope he doesn't pick on him. But I did. In the middle of my show, I just stopped and went, hey you, you've got no arm. He was like, I know. I said, that's kind of rude coming to my show without an arm. How are you going to clap at my jokes? He said like this. At this point, 300 able-bodied people all of a sudden got politically correct on his behalf. I said, what's your name? He said, Sean. I said, Sean, have you seen what you've gone and done? You've gone and made everyone politically correct on your behalf. He says, I know, they're idiots. These are the same idiots that phoned into SABC to complain to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission about that old Nando's advert. Remember where the guide dog walked the blind woman into the pole? He says, how's that offensive to blind people? How did they see the ad in the first place? It was the able-bodied people who saw it. They were like, oh, that's disgusting. Did you see? Okay, you didn't see that, okay, but you are very offended right now. Because I'm phoning on your behalf because you are that's offensive to your people, that one. He said to me, I came to a comedy show kind of expecting to be picked on. If you choose not to pick on me just because I'm disabled, what you're basically saying is I'm not part of society. And I start to hate my disability even more. And all of a sudden, the entire room went, huh. And we had a great time. I got talking to him. We actually had a big fat chat. Because he was there with his wife. And she was also disabled. Because now I'm thinking, hold on, two disabled people married. And then I thought, hold on, let's not discriminate. Disabled people can fall in love, right? Disabled people have to get married and have sex, right? Otherwise, where do other disabled people come from? We actually have a disabled dog in this country. Did you know that? There is a dog in a wheelchair in this country. It's got little back wheels. Has anyone actually seen this dog? Yes? It's like a little Jack Russell dog. And he was obviously in a bit of an accident or something, and his owners couldn't bear to put him down. So they took him through surgery and took his lame back legs and created like a little cradle, like with little wheels. So when they take him for a walk, it's like walking a transformer. Megatron. Now everyone sees that and thinks, that's cute. That's confusing for the dog. Can you imagine waking up after surgery, you don't have back legs, you got back wheels? Taken away his kennel, now he's got a parking bay and a garage. He goes outside in the morning for his first pee. Now he can't just lift his leg against the tree anymore. Now he has to pop the boot, get the jack out, jack up one wheel, just so he can have a pee. That's a lot of adjustment for the dog. Sees a cute little bitch dog walk past, he can't just have a little doggy shag now. Now he has to pop a wheelie just so he can have a doggy shag, you know? That's a lot of adjustment. I'm just glad the dog wasn't raised in the Cape Flats. He'd have like dropped suspension with mag wheels on the side, a CD hanging from his collar, and that fluorescent blue light dangling from his balls. Taking his front teeth out, woof, big share, woof, no. We got a dog recently because, you know, when you're in a relationship, you got to get a dog. You know, and it's fun for a guy to get a dog, like a staffy puppy. That's what we got, a staffy. A man dog. And it's fun for a man to name the dog, isn't it? It's fun for us. We always give it manly names like Tyson, Buster, Megatron, anything that ends in like Zuma. But we name the dog, then the wife always comes back and says, have you named the dog? Yes. This is Zuma. And you must go whenever you talk to him, because he likes that. Women always go, no, it's not. This is Bubbles. Fifi. Lulu. Women always rename the dog. Do you know why women rename the dog? Because women are clever. They know that if a guy tries to take the Staffy puppy to the beach and look all, hey, how you doing? Like a chick magnet. She knows that if that puppy ever gets away down the beach, no man can look good calling for that dog down the beach. Bubbles, yeah, Bubbles. Bubbles, Bubbles, come here. Bubbles. So Lulu gets into a fight with another dog, a sausage dog. Sausage dogs are the dumbest animals in the world, aren't they? I'm not saying they're the dumbest animals, they're the weirdest designed animals in the world. It looks like they were made up of leftover bits of other animals. Because they look awkward. It's like when God was finished making the animal kingdom, he had some leftover bits in his workshop and he was like, let's make something. I know. Let's start with a hot dog roll. Even take a look. They have the ears of an elephant, the mouth of a crocodile, the legs of a centipede, and the penis of a rhinoceros. Why would you give an animal that size such heavy equipment? So Lulu gets into a fight with this dog. Bites down. But when a Staffy bites down, their jaw locks. Did you know this? Why wasn't I told? This is the weirdest design flaw of any animal. Its jaw, and I didn't even know that. The dog didn't even know this. He was like, I was like, come, let's go play frisbee. I can't. Why not? It's locked. What do you mean locked? Locked. Like a train door. Locked. And I left the key in the car. So now I'm trying to separate this dog, and there's always some guy on the beach that knows everything, isn't there? Some guy that wanders over with his beach bat. You know the guy. Looks like he was born on the beach. He doesn't just have a tan, he's got that deep, cracked, etched tan like the front seats of a Ford Escort 1984. You know the guy with a ponytail and a bald spot? Gold chain, Speedo, Crocs. He comes up, he says, yeah, bro, when a Staffy bites down, their jaw locks. Thanks. Yeah, bro, the only way you can separate a Staffy when their jaw's locked is if you stick your finger in his bum. Did you know this? Who would design a dog like that? Here's my question. Who was the first person to discover that? Now, I'm trying to separate my Staffy, so I'm at the back there, and it's really early in our relationship to be going through these kind of bases, and I'm like, he's like, what you doing? Shh, just look that way. I'm not a dog whisperer, right? Not a dog psychiatrist, nothing. I'm not a dog hostage negotiator, nothing. But I'm thinking, when a dog is engaged in a death battle with another animal with teeth, asserting his manliness on the beach, I don't think sticking your finger in his knot is going to calm him down. I think it's going to piss him off even more. It would me. So I'm at the back there and I'm like, got all the animal rights people gathered around me. So, wasn't entirely sure whether it was just the insertion that does it or I had to look for a release switch in the back left corner or something, you know? Like Indiana Jones, like dun 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 dun. Who designs an animal like that? Weirdly designed animals. A panda bear, also a weirdly designed animal. A giant panda gives birth to a cub about 5 centimeters big. That's got to be the world's easiest pregnancy. Let me put that into perspective for you for a second. Can you imagine the panda chomping on her bamboo? No, I swear, Gloria, I had no idea I was even pregnant. No, I swear, you saw me in a bikini, I weren't even showing, were I? No, I weren't. Yeah, I was at one time down a pub, yeah? I didn't even know. It's the weirdest designed animal. I grew up at a very weird time in this country. Very weird time. In fact, I went to school when they introduced Model C schools. Do you remember what those are, Model C schools? For those of you who don't know what Model C schools are, that's where, during apartheid, we had these lily white schools. They're pretty cuck. Then apartheid ended, and they introduced color into the school, which was an awesome time for our country. It was just a very awkward time for me personally. The timing wasn't right for me. Because I was about 13 and I was dealing with changes in my body and going through puberty and being white. And we had a sadistic PT teacher that used to make us swim for PT during winter in a Speedo and deal with the damage. But the way that I dealt with it was that I had a comparison. So when it was time to change back into the school uniform, whip down the Speedo, have a quick glance around the change room. Yep, pretty average. Then they let Sipho and Mandla into the school. Gary. I think a bee stung Mandla, bro, check. That was the first time I got introduced to this phenomenon that is the black man's willy. Now, society has perpetuated this stereotype that black guys have got a couple of extra inches on a white guy. Is this true, guys? Yeah, you would say that. Hold on, let's ask the ladies. Ladies, is this true? Yeah, you see. Now, I don't know why black guys have got a couple of extra inches on a white guy. I don't know why. But I've got a theory. I think it's right. I think they need the extra length. Because have you taken a look at the size of black women's asses? All the white women in the room going, you can't say that! You can't make a joke about the bum like that! All the black women are like, yeah, baby, look at that! It's right! Black guys need the extra length just to get past the bum first before they even get to the entrance of the door. It's like Lego. This is why white guys cannot marry black women. We just don't have the wedding tackle for it. We'll get down below, stop short of the door. We need more hose! And this is why black guys should not marry white anorexic women. You'll be rearranging organs in their body. They'll end up looking like those little rubber animals you stuck on top of your pencil in grade 1. That's scary stuff! Everything's a black-white issue, isn't it? Everything's a black-white issue in this country. Sport. Let me just say this for the record. I do not support quota systems in rugby. Don't support them. Not because I don't think people of color can play rugby. Of course they can. I just miss the old days when the Springbok rugby team was full of Afrikaans names. Full of Dutchman names. I love Dutchman names. Do you have any Dutchmen here? Say ja? Ja, lekker. Are I speaking too quickly for you? What's your name, sir? What are your name? It are in your hemp. Gerard. Gerard. See, that's not even a Dutchman name. That's an Afrikaans name. Let me be fair for a second. In defense of Luke Watson, let me just say this. There is a difference between Afrikaners and Dutchmen. Like there is a difference between Muslims and suicide bombers, okay? It's a difference. Afrikaans people are wonderful people. Family-orientated, fun-loving, have cool names like Piet and Koos and Jan, and they speak English with an accent. And my clippy's worth Coke, please. But Dutchmen have the most creative names in South Africa, don't you think? I only watched rugby for the Dutchman names. I do. I only watch the Blue Bulls play against the Free State Cheetahs for the Dutchman names. I love them. I love names like Os, Durant, Vleis, Versage, Bakkies, Boter. Loosely translated, that's Tupperware Boter. I'm pretty sure the Dutchmen name their kids from Toyota user manuals. Ja. Wat van distributor cap de lange? Nee, okay. Wat van Campbell Koekemoer? Dis 'n goeie een daai. Wat van daai een? Dutchmen don't even bother putting the name in the right order. They'll put the surname first and the first name last. De Wet Barry. But every now and again, if you listen closely enough, the Dutchman community will give the English-speaking community a gift. They give us Sucky de Cock. I can hear the Dutchman going, "What are wrong with Sucky?" Sucky are a good name. Sucky are short for Isak de Cock. I know. What are wrong with the cock? Gerald de Cock, Neil de Cock, Sucky de Cock. I know. But you cannot be that separated from the English language that you don't know Sucky de Cock is going to be a joke for some of us. I try to imagine Sucky taking a gap year at the end of matric, going across to England, where they maybe don't speak a lot of Afrikaans. Pulls into some nice Weatherspoons pub, having a pint of Stella. Some lovely, well-meaning, hospitable English woman pulls up next to him for a bit of conversation. "Hello there, my son. Oh, far away from home, are you? Oh, bless. So what's your name then?" "Sucky de Cock." All right, buy me a gin and tonic. We'll see how far it goes, all right. It's one thing that annoys me about watching rugby. What is it about halftime of every single game on South African television are always those adverts for Bok Jol Treffer Sewa? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Toppie Sokkie Twee. Afrikaans music. Now, I'm not saying all Afrikaans music's rubbish. Now, I'm not saying that British or American music is the be-all and end-all of music. I'm not saying that. But at least there was a time back in the day where people used to take a bit of drugs, get a bit drunk, and write lyrics that made sense. Lyrics we could sing along to. Lyrics like, "Scaramouche, Scaramouche, can you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, it's very, very frightening. Galileo." Makes sense, right? But what is the best that wingnut Kurt Darren can come up with? "O, ek wil huis toe gaan na mama toe. Die rivier is vol met trane rol." Sing along, you know the words. "A boggie wat vanaand by my wil lê, sy kan maar lê, ek is 'n..." Exactly! What in the name of all that is good is a los lapi? Now, for all of you English-speaking people out there that maybe don't have the Sevenderlaan subtitles for that song, I'm going to translate it directly into English for you, in my best Kurt Darren that I can pull off. I want to go home to my mommy. It's not very rock star of him, is it? Because the river is full and my tears are rolling. Must have been up all night writing that line, right? Some buck, I'm sorry, some little buck, hey, wants to come and lie with me at my mommy's house. I'm gonna let it because I'm a loose dishcloth. What the hell is a loose dishcloth? Let me actually tell you something about women. Women have weird habits when it comes to public loos. Public loos, like the ones at the venue, restaurants, clubs, especially those outdoor ones at Coke festivals. You know what I mean? Those outdoor... Did you know this, guys? Women don't want you to know this, but I want to tell you. Because it's funny. A woman will not bare her bum to the actual seat. She will hover an inch above the seat and have her pee, right? You've done this, haven't you? That's why you're nodding, haven't you? And the toilet manufacturers know this because they put a handrail so she can windsurf while she's in there. Or they'll take individual squares of toilet paper off and pad it around the toilet seat like this, just in case the toilet goes and bites her on the bum. But let me say this, there's nothing more exciting for a man, and men, back me up on this. If you share a home with a wife, a sister, a mother, a daughter, there's nothing more exciting for us than to be woken up at 3 in the morning to the sound of a jet of pee going directly into the water. See, normally that sound is masked by ambient sound of the day. Dogs barking, kids playing, traffic, television. But at 3 in the morning, the only melody echoing through the corridors is... You see, we guys are at least a bit considerate. We've got a hose to work with. So we'll aim it away from the water. Like we'll aim it towards the porcelain or the wash basket or the basin or what? But not the water, that's my point. Now, ladies, I understand you don't exactly have a hose to work with. So you're pretty committed to one line of sight. But I'm figuring, if you're hovering anyway, if you just kind of tilt onto one leg like that and just shoot it off at an angle, use it, don't use it, entirely up to you. So we got the 2010 World Cup coming to this country next year, 2010 Soccer World Cup coming to South Africa next year. You see, that was a pretty lame applause. Am I the only one who thinks it's maybe not such a good idea that we host it? Here's my reasoning. When we hosted the Rugby World Cup, we were kind of the best in the world at rugby. When we hosted the Cricket World Cup, we were kind of the best in the world at cricket. Soccer. Not so much. We're like 75 in the world or something. We couldn't even get into the African Cup of Nations. This is our own backyard. This is against teams like Zimbabwe. They don't even have fields to play on. We couldn't beat them. Ethiopia. They can't even afford oranges at half time. Couldn't beat them. Sierra Leone. They don't even have limbs. Couldn't beat them. And then we thought, I know. Let's invite the rest of the world to come on and see how crap we are. So now we've invited the rest of the world to come have a poke around South Africa next year. And the rest of the world's heard about us. They've heard about South Africa. Oh, you're violent. Oh, you've got hijacking and you've got very dodgy government officials, and they're very nervous about coming here. And so we've said, come on in, have a poke around. And so now South Africa's busy trying to tidy things up at the moment. We're in panic stations at the moment. We're kind of like that wife that gets phoned by her husband on the way home from work. Hi, honey, I'm bringing the boss home in about 10 minutes. We'll be coming home for dinner. And she's like, she's trying to tidy up the house quickly, dirty laundry in the basket, shove things into pantries and stuff. That's what South Africa's busy doing right now. We're trying to tidy everything up before they come. We're like, HIV policies under the carpet, there we go. What do we do with Jacob Zuma? Put him in the shower, there we go. All right. What do we do with Julius Malema? We'll put him in school. No one will think to look for him there. I was watching cricket the other day. I was watching the Ashes test. I never realized this. I actually played cricket at school, but I never realized whoever came up with the field placings or the positions in cricket, I think they were a bit of a perv. I really do. Because I never realized until I was watching cricket the other day. I kind of fell asleep while watching it on TV, and I was just listening to the commentators commentating. And I swear, I thought I by mistake switched over to a porn movie. Because it sounds the same. Yeah, that's right, Daryl. If you take a close look at his action, he does like to run his fingers across the seam of his balls. Yeah, that last one came out the back of his hand. Yeah, the bowler has been guilty of being short of a length, but the batsman has been stroking him through the covers all day. It looks like the fine leg is up, and two men are in the ring. Oh, wait a second, there's been a positional change, and a third man has come up into the ring as well. This is the truth. One of the reasons why South Africa is finally doing better in cricket, because we finally have our most valuable cricketer in the team. My favorite cricketer by far is a guy called Hashim Amla. You know who he is? You guys know? He's the guy that looks like Osama bin Laden. Have you seen him? Now, I know a lot of you are kind of going, no, he doesn't. I'm trying to be politically correct. Yes, he does. In fact, so much so that he got that Australian commentator Dean Jones into trouble. Remember, he caught the ball and Dean Jones went, oh, looks like the terrorists caught another one. That's so bad! Let's be fair for a second. You should never judge a Muslim until you find out what makes them tick. Don't do it, don't. I don't even know if Hashim Amla can play cricket. I think he's only in the team for intimidation tactics. I think so too. Ever since George W. Dumbass and his whole war against terrorism, every Westerner thinks that every Muslim wants to blow up a plane. They do. It's true. Let me tell you something. If you are a Muslim today, and you are not cashing in on the intimidation power available to you, you're not playing your cards right. Graham Smith uses it. He's like, Hashim, Salim it on. Puts a helmet on him, get him to stand really close to the batsman. Hello, my friend. How are you today? Me? I'm feeling a little suicidal. Shh. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, sorry, was that me? Oh, my bad. Okay, now you concentrate now. Oh, got you. Okay, now concentrate now. Hey, hit the ball to me. Don't hit to them. Don't make me angry. You still have to fly home. I have friends on planes. That scares the hell out of batsmen. I have that. I'm out of here, man. I hate airports. I do. I hate the safety checks, the metal detector thing. They make you get practically naked before you have to get through there. And I travel a lot. So I'm practically on first name terms now with a pat-down guy at Cape Town International Airport. And in Cape Town, they put a little extra effort into the pat-down. Hi, it's you again. Come here. Now, I like a good rub down as much as the next man does, you know? But I suddenly realized how invasive that is of your personal space. And I suddenly realized what it must be like to be a woman and to go to the gynecologist. See all the women like, What do you know about a gynecologist? Okay, nothing. But I can imagine it must be a pretty intimidating time for you to go off and have some stranger fiddle with your bits. It must be pretty intimidating. Women love to kind of talk to each other on Facebook, and they're like, oh no, you must go to my guy. So good. Oh, he's gentle, he's lovely. Oh, he puts on candles, lovely music. Shaves his knuckles, lovely guy. But ladies, as intimidating as it may be for you to go off to the gynecologist and have some stranger fiddle with your pits, at least it's a part of your body you are used to having fiddled with. We guys have a thing called a prostate. A couple of guys moving uncomfortably in their chair right now. I hear you, my friend. You see, God in his wisdom thought it was vital to create a prostate. And then when he was doing the layout of the body, he thought, where can I put this guy for easy access? Oh, I know. Inside his bum. Back left corner. Finders keepers. Now, I'm a pretty unadventurous straight guy, right? So my rusty sheriff's badge has pretty much been a one-way street for me. So my first trip to the proctologist was not a lot of fun. Mr. Newton, can you please pull down your pants? And your underpants. The only thing going through my mind at this point is, I swear if you move. I will shoot myself. Because women think that guys have control over it. We don't have control over it. Willies are stupid. My Willie doesn't know the difference between a beautiful woman and speed bumps. I'll be driving down the N1, you go over those little speed bumps. Hi, you called, what do you need, hi? I didn't call, there's no one here. It's what the Afrikaners like to call a stofpad styfie. Willies are stupid. You know what a morning glory is, ladies? That's where a guy's willy wakes up half an hour before he does. That's not his fault, he's unconscious. Let me tell you something, a morning glory has nothing to do with sex. It's a man's body's biological way of telling him that his bladder is full, now he must go have a wee. This is a design flaw of a man. Because a man will arrive in the bathroom in the morning to have a pee. Like this. And the toilet's over there, not over there. And it's not exactly on a hinge, now is it? So if a guy wants to pee in this condition, he has to do it one of two ways. Either like an NBA basketball player from a corner of the bathroom, like, which is kind of cool if you've got a mirror to look into, like, yeah. But the most common way a guy pees in this condition, and guys, I will know if you've done this, is we end up looking, ladies, this is why we close the door. Is we end up looking like a giraffe drinking water. You don't know! It's difficult for us. Mr. Newton, can you please put your hands on the table? I am acutely aware there is a grown man putting on rubber gloves behind me. All of a sudden, the wall chart is the most interesting thing I've ever read in my entire life. I suddenly feel a pain no man should ever feel. It felt like he had ripped the leg off the table and shoved it in my throat. I was like, Doc, please! One finger for beginners, please! He said, that's just a thermometer. You know, when you get into a relationship, now you've got to do couple things. You've got to have couple friends. One of the things that annoys me about having couple friends is that you always have those people that want to play board games. For us, it's Mike and Jenny. They come around, they want to play board games. You know the type? Jenny comes around with 30 seconds in her bag. She's like, cool, let's play 30 seconds, we're really good. We'll beat you. Oh, yay. Have you noticed, everyone's got that couple friend that plays 30 seconds too well. In fact, they know each other so well, they complete each other's sentences. They practice on their honeymoon. And have you noticed that the clues they give have nothing to do with what's on the card? Have you noticed that? Are you ready, Mike? Yes, Jenny. Okay. Orange. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. What? I try it. We're not so good. You're like, David, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Okay. I know this one. First man to walk on the moon. Neil Armstrong. No, keep going. Neil Armstrong! No, you're almost there. Keep going. Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. No, Lance Armstrong. He rode a bicycle. Why was he riding a bicycle on the moon? Not on the moon. Tour de France, cancer. Tour de France and cancer aren't on this card, dummy. Stick to us on the card. Here's a word of advice for you. Never play Pictionary with your own spouse. Never do it. Always split the couples. Always play with someone else's partner. Do you know why? Because when you lose, you're a lot more gracious, aren't you? Oh, no, don't be silly, Jill. Oh, don't be silly. No, it was me. No, I can see now. That, in fact, you drew the map of Africa. I don't know why I said peanut and walnut and, in fact, all the nuts. And I can see now that when you were stabbing the pen violently into the paper, you were merely drawing my attention to Cape Town on the map. I don't know why I said nutcracker and ballet and other Russian things. There is this phenomenon amongst women called the phenomenon of the black pants. No other item of clothing has this phenomenon for women. Black pants. Not jeans, not skirts, not dresses, black pants. This is where a woman will walk up to a man on a random Thursday and say, hi honey, we've got a function next week, so we need to go to the mall and buy black pants. I need to go shopping. Now, so I say to her, honey, don't you already have black pants? And she'll say, yeah, I do. Now, because I'm a man, and I'm bound by logic, what I'll say next is, why don't you eat one of those ones? And then she says, because. And that's where the argument ends. You don't take the argument beyond that point. We got into a lot of arguments. Men and women argue differently. Have you noticed that? Men and women argue differently. Men understand it's a fight. When that argument starts, you're like, okay, it's a fight. Right. All right, so it's your turn, my turn. That's how it works. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's how an argument works. Woman, not the same. They'll go back and forth a couple of times. Maybe I'll make sense, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll stick to the subject, maybe I won't. Then all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, silence. Are we done? Did I win? I'm gonna go watch football. No! The argument's not over. She has simply gone underwater. Like a nuclear submarine, still armed for battle. And the argument continues. Except I am no longer invited to this argument. In fact, another actor is playing my part in this argument and saying stuff I would never say, saying words I would never use, so that when she resurfaces 6 days later, I'm in a lot of trouble. So while we're arguing, she's got a file clerk running around in her head, gathering together all other unresolved arguments. He's like, all right, listen up. We've got a bit of an alfresco situation happening upstairs. He said something about a beach and a bikini. We need anything in the whole gym, beach, bikini, body, food, family, ex-girlfriend genre. Doesn't matter how far back they go. Just bring them up. But there is a section in every woman's cupboard that no man knows about. It's called the one-day section. This is where if at any time in a woman's life, any item of clothing doesn't fit her anymore, she doesn't throw it away, or give it to a friend, or donate it to charity. No. She will hang it patiently in this section, because one day I will fit into those clothes again. So we have to go shopping for black pants. I hate malls. I get mall rage. I do, because people are pigs in malls. People fart on escalators. I'm on the escalator, taking the ride up. Some woman 5 steps ahead of me. She's got a beige flannel bum looking straight at me. She gets taken away from the fart, I get dragged into it. That's the most vindictive place to fart in the whole world. And why is it whenever I'm in a hurry to get anywhere in a mall, I'll turn a corner and there's 4 fat people walking next to each other across the walkway. And I'm trying to find a gap between them, and I'm like, and they're like, I hope the food court is soon. I'm trying to find a gap, and I'm like, why must you walk next to each other? Walk in single file, like elephants do. Trunk to tail, trunk to tail, trunk to tail. Heard an alarming thing on the radio the other day about Volvo. Volvo's coming out with a new gadget on its later model cars. It's a breathalyzer that's connected to your safety belt. So unless your safety belt is plugged in, you can't start your ignition. So if you're over the legal drinking and driving limit, you can't get home. Who thinks their car will never sell in this country? Eh? We are like the drinking and driving capital of the world, aren't we? And we're kind of proud of it. You'll see those adverts on TV. Don't let your friend drive drunk. Take his keys away from him. Have you ever tried to take a Dutchman's keys away from him? When he's sober, let alone when he's had a couple of clippies with coke. Or what they like to call karate water. Guys won't let you take their keys away from them. Guys will fight you off. They're like, I'm fine, I'm not drunk, I'm fine. Get off me, get off me. Get off me. I'm fine. I'm fine. You'll see guys trying to find their cars in the parking lot at the end of the night with their remotes. Bloop, bloop, Marga. Bloop, bloop, Paolo. We only actually realize how drunk we are when you're finally in the car, right? Sit behind the steering wheel and go, yes, I'm drunk. Shh. Hi, it's just me. Now, because you have a Volvo. Bliksem. Now the only way you can get home is if you have a designated breather. Or, call God, come here for a second. Just stick your head in here and give me a blow quickly. But we always give ourselves that fake responsibility speech, don't we? We always kind of go, okay, hold on, shh. I'm very drunk right now. I'm very drunk. It's really irresponsible for me to be driving right now. So, I think the most responsible thing for me to do right now is to be on the road for the shortest period of time. So I'm gonna drive home as quickly as I can. But we can never make it straight home, can we? We always have to pull into some 24-hour engine and eat that crap you will never eat at any other time in your life. Hey, what is it about a pepper steak pie that only tastes good at 4 in the morning? There's a place I like to go to. I stay sober on purpose, because it's comedy for me. Because there's a place, my favorite comedy place in the whole world, is this place, the 24-hour engine in Gardens on the way out of town at 4 in the morning. You know that one? You know why it's the best? Because at 4 in the morning, all the waifs and strays and vagabonds all gather there, you know? It's great. I walk in, and it's comedy for me because I love to see the two guys standing in front of the pie window trying to decide which pie to have. They're like, hi, sissy, hi. I'll be with you in a minute. Khanjani? Pelile. Brew is running in the have. Me? Me, I think I'm gonna have the pepper stack one. Pepper stack, man. Pepper stack. It's a very difficult word to say, man. Which one are you gonna have? Me? I think I'm gonna have a cheeseburger one. Hi, sissy, hi. Hi, can I have the burger cheese though? Just give me 4. In fact, give me that whole row. Just give me... You can tell the drunkest people are convinced they can eat everything in that entire shop. They've got such severe munchies. You'll see the drunkest people arrive at the checkout with like 4 pepper steak pies, 5 cheeseburger pies, armfuls of cheese curls and flings. You know, oh, Ghost Pops, I haven't seen those since school, yay. Oh, no, I must get a yogi sip and a Mighty Milk also, and oh, a licorice stick and a boerewors stick and a marshmallow fish, yes. So I get home, I'm sitting on the couch and I've got ETV on at 4 in the morning. And you know what's on E at 4 in the morning, right? Infomercials. Manual 7's finished by then. So now, I'm watching E and I'm thinking, why are the infomercials on at 4 in the morning? Infomercials are designed for housewives who are asleep, not for drunk comedians with credit cards. And then I got thinking, that's brilliant. Because that's how they get me, by asking me questions I can't answer. Tired of using a conventional vacuum cleaner that won't let you vacuum your curtains? Do you remember last week? I was telling you that I was tired of a conventional vacuum cleaner that doesn't let me vacuum the curtains. And you know me, I like clean curtains. And the Bauer pan! Look how easily it wipes up burnt milk in a flash. If you're frying milk, I don't think you belong in the kitchen in the first place. And the Orbi trick. Tired of using conventional gym equipment that just puts unnecessary pressure on your knees when it simulates walking? That's your knees' only job, to handle the pressure of walking. It's pretty much the only reason God put them there. But now the Orbi trick with its natural motion of walking. No, it's not. That's the most unnatural motion in the world. No one does that. When was the last time you were walking through the mall? How's the burger? Fine and new. Walking through Pick n Pay, button up this way, thanks, man. No one does that. See, you're laughing at me as if you don't have a Verimark or a Glowmail or a Homemark product in your own home. Bet you all do. I bet you every single one of your days goes like this. You wake up after a good night's sleep on your Aero bed. Hop onto the Orbi Trek for a 15-minute workout. Pull the Ab King Pro from underneath the bed, slap on the sauna belt and tighten up those abs. Smear on some silhouette footy, put on the nude bra, the trim and lift panties and take your daily dose of BioSlim Fat Attack. Head into the kitchen for a nice nutritional breakfast. Slice up the bread with an Ikai knife set, whisk up your eggs with a thunder stick, chop up the vegetables with a Twister Pro, throw the mixture into the bar pan, the bacon into George Foreman grill, and wash it down with a Mielex Frolata smoothie. But wait! There's more. Give the house a once-over with your big green clean machine. Head into the garden to mow your Canada green lawn, clean out the pool goblet, throw in some Blue 52, then head to the mall, your diamond guarded car with the Durablade, your Prolong engine treatment. Right! Exactly! You do it. I was actually wondering about men and women and the issues with men and women and why they argue. Why do men and women have disagreements and why are we so different? And I figured the only way to kind of get to the bottom of that is if we go back to the beginning and investigate. Where did it begin? And the place we have to begin is at the beginning, at Adam and Eve. Now, I don't know if you are aware of the story. Maybe you haven't been to Sunday school in a while. But I'm going to tell you my version. You'll like it. Just to bring you up to speed for a second, one day God just decided to invent the heavens and the earth. And he went, boom, heavens and earth. 5 days later, heavens and earth and animals. And then it was a Friday afternoon, so he said, look, I've got to name the animals, but what I'll do is I'll come back Monday morning and I'll name the animals. And then he thought, no, let's think like a woman. Let's work one extra day, invent a man, get him to do it. So it says on the 6th day, he created man and he said, it is good. It is good. And he said, go. And man was there on his 6th day. And it says that on the 7th day, God rested. But if you take a close look, he never actually went back to work on Monday. He's been resting ever since, which is a little cheeky, I think. So Adam wakes up and he's got his whole bachelor pad to himself and the animals, and he gets a chance to name the animals, and it's all cool for him, you know? He's like, yeah, Megatron, Zuma. And it was cool. You know, you could play games, pull my finger. It was fun for him, you know, and animals could sleep on the couch. And then one day God said, no, it's not good for man to be alone because these names are rubbish and we need a woman to get in here quickly. So it says that he put Adam into a sleep, did a bit of a nip tuck, took one of his ribs, and then created a woman. And so when Adam woke up, he had a pain in the side and a pain in the arse. No, that's not true. Not true. But it says that when Adam woke up and Eve was there, he said, oh, Eve, let me show you around. This is my bachelor pad. This is where we leave the fig leaves, and then we just leave stuff there. We don't do anything with it. Okay, and let me introduce you to my friends. That is Rover. And he's like, he said, Rover. And Eve said, no. And she renamed the animals. And that's why we have weird names like duck-billed platypus and flamingo and tortoise, and they're rubbish. And I'm just glad that Adam and Eve weren't Dutchmen. Because Dutchmen cannot be trusted around animal names. They'd be like, yeah, I think this one, oh, look, like a camel and a horse, a camel pad, a camel horse. And that one, oh, look like a mouse and a dog, a mouse horn, it's a mouse dog. That one, or a cow in the sea, a sea cow, a sea koei. So it says that one day Adam and Eve needed some food. So Adam said to Eve, listen, I need you to go down to the grocery store and I need you to get what's on this list. Stick to what's on the shopping list. Do not get anything off the shopping list because there's things we're not allowed to have. Stick to what's on the list. Go. So Eve was wandering around up and down the aisles of Fruit and Veg City, and she's like, and the devil was in the corner. He was kind of disguised as the fruit weigher guy. He was like, yeah, what's up? Can I interest you in some forbidden fruit? And she said, no. I have to stick to what's on the list. This is what my husband said. On the list only. I have to stick to what's on the list. Can't have the forbidden fruit. And he said, don't worry about it. It's on sale. And she was like, yay! 2 for the price of 1. She grabbed a couple and ran off home, and she said, Adam, look what I got, forbidden fruit. And this is the point where everyone says Adam was in the wrong. Because Adam should have taken responsibility. He should have said, God says, no, put it down, come over here, leave it alone. But let's take a look at it for a second. There was a naked woman holding food. I doubt he heard the question. So it says, Eve bit into the fruit, and then God came down, he was lank annoyed, he said, I'm lank annoyed. And so he says, get out of my garden, get out of the garden. They said, how can you kick us out? You can't kick us out of the garden, it's our garden. He said, I can because I'm the landlord, I'm the Lord, it's my land, out. Okay? Out. But before you go, you're in a lot of trouble. You, Eve, come here, we need a punishment for you. Come here, what can we be, what can it be? Pain during birth from now onwards. That's what it is, pain. It was gonna be easy, this was just supposed to be a one-way street. Now, you turn right back out again, okay? We're taking away the easy birth, giving it to the panda. That's yours. Carry on.
You guys are amazing! Thank you.